What is going on, everybody? What is going on? The Catch fam. Hope you guys are doing phenomenal tonight. Hope you guys have all had a great Thursday. Hope you guys have been enjoying the beginning of the 2023 NFL Draft, and hope you guys are ready for another live 2023 startup mock draft for the 2023 Dynasty Fantasy Football season. We have got a ton to get into tonight. I'm so excited for tonight's stream. We're going to be running through our startup mock per usual, but we will be having live NFL draft coverage and reactions to the first round. We are 11 picks in so far. We've got the Detroit Lions on the clock at the time that I'm starting the stream, so we've got a lot to go over with the selections that have already been made. We've got Lamar Jackson's big payday. We've got a ton to get into tonight. Like I said, so excited to be here with you guys. So excited to hop into another startup mock draft with you guys. So hit that like button on the way in, guys. Hit that subscribe button, of course, if you guys are new to the channel. But most importantly, hop in the live chat tonight. Let me know what's popping. Let me know how you guys are doing. Any NFL topics you guys want to go over, any topics pertaining to the NFL draft you guys want to go over, and most importantly, any fantasy football topics you guys want to go over. Redraft, dynasty, best ball, anything, throw it in the live chat. We're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to talk some fantasy football and talk some NFL 2023 draft. So we've got one spot open. One spot open at the moment. So link is in the YouTube chat. It is on Discord. It is in the Sleeper League. So we're going to wait to get this last spot full, and then we're going to start the mock. But outside of that, we have got a lot to get into, like I said. And you guys are going crazy so far in the chat. So, of course, at the worst time possible, my my draft tracker is not loading, but you guys are saying Jahmyr Gibbs to the Detroit Lions. Wow, I did not see that coming at all. I mean, not even close. So that's a doozy. Wow. Okay. So yeah, J-Dub saying DeAndre Swift could be traded. I don't know. That's just crazy. I did not see Jahmyr Gibbs going that early. That's big. That's big. I mean, you just paid a lot of money for David Montgomery. I think Swift could be on the move like tonight. Is that too drastic to say? Okay. We got one spot open. Someone hop in there so we can get this mock draft started. But let's start. Lamar Jackson gets his payday. He's staying with the Baltimore Ravens. Fully guaranteed contract. I mean, not all of it, but $185 million fully guaranteed. This is good news. That's out of the way. Okay, it's good news. So we can touch more on Lamar Jackson, but it's good for Mark Andrews, good for Odell Beckham, good for Rashad Bateman, good for Lamar Jackson as well in terms of fantasy, in my opinion. I think it was the best spot for him to be. So we can talk more about Lamar Jackson tonight. But we got Bryce Young to the Panthers, the first overall pick. We knew that was going to happen. Nothing too crazy there. CJ Stroud does go to the Houston Texans. We called it on last night's stream. I'm so proud of you guys. I mean, we called not only Stroud going to the Texans, but also the Texans trading for the third overall spot and Will Anderson going to the Texans. So we got the order wrong, though. In our mock, we went Will Anderson, then the Texans trading for the third pick, which we got right. But no, I'm so sorry. We had the Texans taking Will Anderson at pick 2 and then trading for pick 3 and taking CJ Stroud. So you guys are super close, though. But yeah, Anthony Richardson is going to the Colts. So I don't think Stroud is like, I don't think you guys are too blown away. Like we knew there's a possibility the Texans did not take a quarterback. And then we did know, like if they were going to take a quarterback, it was more than likely going to be CJ Stroud. So fantasy implications, not a lot to get into just yet. We'll see if they draft a receiver tonight. But I do think this is good for any of the receivers on the Houston Texans, but I just don't know who that guy is going to be, right? But this is good, positive steps moving forward for the Texans, in my opinion. They needed to go out and get a guy. You got to at least take the best available player at the position in this draft. Anthony Richardson going to the Colts. I did not see this one coming. I did not personally. So, by the way, guys, do me a favor. Try and help me out and get someone else from Discord or wherever in the draft for the night, guys, so we can get this going. But Anthony Richardson to the Colts, what are your guys' thoughts? Listen, he can technically sit behind Gardner Minshew, so, like, that's good, I guess. I mean, I think it was a good move for the Colts because the Colts had to take the upside, right? Like, they have been striking out. They have been, a mediocre team behind Phil Rivers, Carson Wentz, whoever it was going to be, right? And I think that Will Levis was who a lot of people thought the Colts would go with. And I just think it was too much of a safe pick. I think you had to try and take the upside. Try and take a player who can develop into a Justin Fields type quarterback, maybe a Josh Allen type quarterback, or maybe he doesn't work out and the concerns that a lot of individuals had come to light, but at least he took the risk. I think it was a good move for the Colts personally. So, I mean, those are your big offensive names to start the draft off the board, right? But Bijan Robinson goes to the Atlanta Falcons. Oh my gosh, guys. I cannot tell you how much I dislike that pick. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a great pick for the Falcons, but we're talking from a pure fantasy perspective. I don't like this landing spot for Bijan Robinson, and I hate it for Tyler Algier. I hate it. I just, don't get me wrong, Bijan's going to be a beast. I just don't like this landing spot whatsoever. So, I'm a little disappointed to see Bijan go to the Falcons. But, I mean, what are we going to do? All right, let me try and get one more person. I know a lot of people are watching the draft, or watching other people's coverage because I was a little bit late. But we can get one more person here for sure. All right, so the Packers go with Lucas Van Ness at pick 13. I can see Spencer is very upset about that. I like Van Ness, but there's some risk with him as well. I mean, yeah, I'm not surprised that the Packers did a Packers thing and did not take, like, JSN there, for example, or even Quentin Johnston or, like, Flower. Like, just didn't take a receiver. If they went receiver, they're going JSN. But, yeah, I'm not surprised, Spencer. I'm not going to lie. I would have liked to see them go receiver there. But it's a good upside pick, I think, at the defensive end, I should say. But, yeah, I don't know. I think you're a bit disappointed. It's going to be really interesting. The Patriots on the board here. I have a queasy feeling that the Patriots could go JSN right here. And if they don't, I have a feeling the Jets could take JSN at 15. But if these two teams don't take him, I don't know when this receiver run's going to start. I'm starting to get intrigued about seeing where JSN could possibly go. I am. All right. I mean, should we run? We don't want to run the draft with one bot in here. Hold on a sec. Let me start sending out some invites. See who we can get in here tonight. Oh, we don't even need to. All right, I'm going to send out one last warning on Discord. We're going to get the mock draft going. And, oh, we have a trade. The Steelers are at pick 14 now. Okay. So wait, did the Patriots trade out of the first round completely? Or is this just not updated? Okay, hold on. No random order tonight. You guys know the drill. We need to get this mock going. Okay, if you guys are in the mock is underway. Let's do it. Does anyone know what the... okay, no, the Patriots are at pick 17. It just wasn't updated. Okay, for those of you guys drafting, the draft is underway. So keep that in mind, too. Be Like Chunk goes Lamar Jackson at 1.1. So it's already going to be interesting tonight. Oh, my gosh. What is this? I haven't... All right, Steelers get who? Gonzalez? Joey Porter Jr.? I mean, the pick is in. Ooh, Josh Allen at 1.4. Okay, I'm going to try my best. I might not be doing a ton of extensive overview of tonight's startup mock, but we will go over where some of the rookies land to see if their ADP changes or anything. Grail collect AR-15 to Indy. Let's go, let's go. And yeah, like I said, I really like that pick for the Colts because I think taking the upside was smart. You know, if it doesn't pay off, what do the Colts really have to lose? They're not in a good position right now. And they haven't been in a good position for a minute. So, you know, I think it makes sense. I think if you go Will Levis, it just feels too safe. I was a little surprised to see the Seahawks take Devin Witherspoon at pick 5, but what you have to remember is, you know, that was the pick that they earned with the trade with the Broncos, and they still have a selection at pick 20. So I think, you know, if you're looking at that and they think, which I think is completely fair, if Witherspoon's the best defensive back on the board and maybe, I guess, in the draft, right? You're getting a steal because that was part of a trade, right? When you traded away Russell Wilson, and you can still fill a solid positional need at pick 20. But I mean, now you look at the Seattle Seahawks starting corners. Yeah, that's a scary secondary, a really scary secondary. All right, so Steelers go Jones. You guys are saying, yeah. The way I had to do this, I'm gonna be like slightly behind you guys, which is annoying, so make sure you guys are updating me the best you can as well. All right, so Bijan goes at the 1.11 still, no change there. I'm going to see if there's a better website I can use because, I mean, I know like they're trying to update it, like, you know, I get it. It's going to be moving kind of slowly, but I remember last year there's a specific site I use. All right, so Broderick Jones does go to the Steelers. That's a good pick. I mean, we kind of knew there was going to be a large run at offensive tackle early in the draft. So Paris Johnson Jr. to the Cardinals, Darnell Wright to the Bears, which I love that pick, by the way. And then Peter, my boy, goes to the Titans. And, yeah, Broderick Jones goes to Georgia. Man, I mean, those reports that came out about teams really liking Jahmyr Gibbs, obviously not far from the truth at all. But this is a very interesting running back room for the Lions at the end of the day. I mean, very, very interesting. All right, so we've got the Jets on the board at pick 15. I'd love to see JSN go here. But I don't know, man. The Patriots sitting there at 17. I mean, the Jets could go, I don't know, offensive tackle. You kind of just had, like, the best of the bunch wiped off the board. Bijan to the Falcons. How are we feeling? Asked JSC. I mean, I don't love it, but I don't hate it for Bijan from a fantasy perspective because at the end of the day, I really don't care where he goes. Like, from a fantasy perspective purely, Bijan Robinson is going to be productive anywhere. Like, I'm fine with that. But I hate it for Tyler Algier, and I just, you know, I would have liked to see Bijan on a more exciting offense. But, you know, if Ritter can truly take a step forward this coming season, you've got Kyle Pitts there coming back healthy, hopefully. You've got Drake London at the wide receiver position, obviously. You know, this offense can slowly but surely turn into something. And, you know, outside of that, like, running backs can be very productive on not so great teams, right? I mean, Christian McCaffrey with the Panthers, for example. Saquon Barkley with the Giants, for example. You know, the running back position can be productive, and there doesn't have to be, you know, an extremely explosive offense completely around them. I mean, sometimes it's actually better because the offense relies more on the running back position that way. You know what I mean? So the volume's better. So, yeah, I mean, I was saying, like, all off season, basically, especially when the rumors started to surface, you know, a Bijan going to the Falcons, that I was not going to be a fan of it. So I have to stick by that. But am I worried about him? No, I'm not even close. Not even close. All right, I'm very tempted to go JSN here, but I don't want to start with too many. I mean, I already got Bryce Young, so I'll take Drake London there. Shane, I think that was the best place for him. Falcons run the ball all day. I mean, yeah, I mean, Arthur Smith's offense is good for Bijan. I do not disagree with that per se. But I don't know. I just wanted to see him go to a different team. That's all. But it's over. It doesn't really matter at all what any of us wanted to see or whatever. Like, Bijan's on the Falcons, and he's going to be a very productive, good running back for quite some time for the Atlanta Falcons. And I think he does help take that offense a step forward, undoubtedly. So there's nothing to be too down about for sure. But, like, I mean, you look at the board, right? He went at 8. The Eagles traded up for Jalen Carter at 9. The Bears were there at 10. I mean, with the Lions going Jahmyr Gibbs at 11, and even the Titans at 12, and the Titans on the clock at 11, like, I don't think Bijan was going to escape any of those teams. Not even close. Yeah, the Jahmyr Gibbs pick to the Lions, I mean, I think everyone's in agreement that that's got to be the most interesting selection yet. But I mean, when we look overall, I don't exactly know. Like, I guess the Lions just did not think they were going to be able to get Gibbs. You know, when we look at the second round, they have pick 34 and pick 48 as well as pick 55. Like, they have some draft capital in the second round. Look at the third round, which Gibbs wouldn't be there by then. Yeah, they don't have any third round picks. But yeah, I don't know. You got to imagine they would have been able to trade up to the end of the first at least. Huh. I mean, yeah, they have pick 18 as well. I don't know. There must have been a lot of buzz out there about teams wanting Jahmyr Gibbs. And just the Lions looking at the board and saying that, you know, we wanted a running back this draft, and he's our highest rated guy after Bijan. So I don't know. From a fan perspective, we weren't expecting it, so it feels a little bit strange or whatever. But hey, I mean, these are NFL teams, right? It is certainly interesting after paying Monty and still having Swift. I mean, I will tell you guys this much. I was really becoming a big fan of David Montgomery's fantasy value, where he was going in both dynasty drafts and redraft. I mean, best ball, everything. But right now, I'm pretty hesitant around that backfield. You know, I don't know. We'll just have to see what happens with Swift. There's somewhat of a likelihood that Swift is on the move. Like, that's going to be a rumor for sure. But we'll have to see what happens. And I don't know. Things have just gotten a little interesting, which I told you guys all last night, all last week. This is going to be a very interesting draft. Albert, what's going on, my guy? Hello. How we doing, man? So yeah, so far, what has been the biggest surprise for you guys through the first round of the draft? Outside of Jahmyr Gibbs, that doesn't count. I think for me, Devin Witherspoon. I did not see that pick coming at all. Yeah, we've had a couple trades. I mean, it's been an entertaining 14 selections. The Jets haven't picked, right? I haven't gotten any update that the Jets have made a selection. So I feel like this pick is taking forever. All right, let's see here. Where do I want to go with this pick? Go DJ Moore. We got to load up at receiver a bit. I was tempted to take Jahmyr Gibbs right there for some reason. I'm not gonna lie. Just, you know, let's build the hype up. Yeah, I feel like this Jets pick is taking like they on like a long commercial break. I was so excited when the Texans traded for the third pick. I mean, we got the first 3 picks of the draft correct. I mean, that is impressive. I was impressed with you guys. All right. Into the 5th round we go already tonight. I'm on the board. I want to see where Quentin Johnston, Jordan Addison go. All right, give me Christian Kirk. Thought about Ayuk. I want to see where some of these tight ends go. All right, so Mr. Sarcastic says Jets go McDonald here. So they go edge rusher. Okay. That's an interesting pick. I mean, that's a good young defense. Fire it up. You know, okay. I just thought they'd go. I mean, when you do kind of look at the available offensive linemen right now, I'm not surprised they didn't. I mean, Harrison's available out of Oklahoma. Jones out of Ohio State. You've got Torrance at guard out of Florida. Like, that's really about it. So I'm not surprised that maybe they passed on offensive line here. But I just JSN I think would have been really, really interesting. But I mean, I get it. It's, you know, you're trying to build up what's already an elite looking defense, so to speak, in the coming years, right? So I don't know. I mean, that's our highest rated guy. It is what it is. But there are a lot of good names available. I mean, Christian Gonzalez is still available, which, I mean, they got Sauce. Like, I mean, they've got a good secondary, but I'm not even particularly talking about the Jets here. But Nolan Smith is still available. Cansey's still available. Brian Branch is available. Miles Murphy is available. Banks is available. Joey Porter Jr. is available. All your receivers are available. Can we please get a receiver off the board? That's what I want. Because then we can really talk some fantasy implications. That's what I really want. All right, into the 6th round we go, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we got the Washington Commanders on the board here. On the clock, I should say. I have no idea where Washington goes. Could trade out. I don't know. I really hope they don't pick JSN. Like, I really hope they don't pick JSN. They could go tight end. They could go Gonzalez. Like, Washington taking a corner. Like, I mean, they need secondary help. Nolan Smith, Cansey, Branch, all these guys make sense. Washington could pick anyone. They do need offensive line help. But like I said, I think we're kind of at a point with offensive line where you might see some teams pass because the value has gone down pretty drastically. I mean, those couple of tackles we've already seen off the board were like, I mean, those are the guys, right? I mean, they're still good available offensive linemen, but I think you've moved down a tier. So we'll just kind of have to wait and see what happens. But yeah, I mean, you could literally, I mean, Washington could use help anywhere. You know, you're going to trust Sam Howell this year, so, like, they're not picking a quarterback. And, I mean, I don't know. I guess Levis is in the conversation at the moment. I do want to know who goes Will Levis. I really thought if the Colts didn't take him, it would be the Titans. So I'm certainly interested to see where Will Levis lands. Excuse me. All these tight ends sitting here. I mean, there are a lot of mocks that had like 3 tight ends gone in the first. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. All right, who do I want to pick here? All right, so Jahmyr Gibbs goes at 6.2. JSN goes at 3.11. So, like, their capital tonight hasn't really changed. The quarterbacks are interesting. So we saw Stroud go first, then Richardson, then Bryce Young. Give me a rookie. Let's take Addison off the board. Give me a rookie. Commanders go Forbes over Gonzalez. Really? Okay. Wow. Yeah. I mean, I like Forbes. He's a little bit smaller. 14 interceptions, 17 pass breakups in his year. He has started since he was a freshman. But Joey Porter Jr., Deonte Banks, and Christian Gonzalez are all on the board. But this, I mean, that happens a lot at the cornerback position. Yeah, I'm not surprised they went corner there at all. But I don't know. I mean, hey. I don't think it's a bad pick. I just think that I'm surprised with Joey Porter Jr. there and Gonzalez there. Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised. I'm not gonna lie. So we'll see what happens. We will see how it shapes out. All right, who do I want to draft tonight? Oh my gosh, I just saw Tyler Allgeier's name. I'm just going to be that all quarterback receiver team to start tonight. I'm so sad for Tyler Allgeier. Shane says I didn't mean to go Swift. Yeah, what are we gonna do with the Lions backfield? What are we gonna do with the Falcons backfield? I don't know. I just don't know. All right, so Jordan Addison goes at 6.9, Quinn Johnson at 6.11, Zay Flowers at 7.5 tonight. I mean, I think we will certainly see 2 out of 3 of those guys gone in the first round tonight. Hopefully all 4. Or excuse me, all 3. 4 including JSN. Marco, what's going on, man? Jahmyr Gibbs, the Lions just made this the most stressful fantasy offseason. I mean, like, yeah, like some of you guys saying, like, Swift's going to get traded for sure. I could see that happening. I could also see a world with Swift's injury history, and even to a degree Monty's injury history. I could see all three running backs on this team, and this just went from like a backfield that you want to chase because you know even with two running backs there, the running backs are going to be productive, like we saw with Swift and Jamal Williams last year, even if there was inconsistency at times, to a backfield that you don't want to touch the 10-foot pole, although all three of these guys are great at the position. I don't know. It's a little bit, it's too crowded, right? It's way too, and like the only guy who could be an odd man out is DeAndre Swift. But what, he's got one more year on his deal, correct? So they might just hold on. I mean, like, you need depth. You need, I don't know. Okay, so the Patriots are on the clock at pick 17, and I'm very, very, very worried they're going to take JSN. Like, I am very worried they're going to take JSN. Cats is Anthony Richardson, now the QB1. He is mine, no doubt. You mean between Young, Richardson, and Stroud? That is a good question. What do you guys think? Let us know in the chat. I mean, that's a really good question, right? Because, you know, not including Will Levis, who's your top quarterback, right? Is it in the rookie class right now? Patriots go Christian Gonzalez. Okay, I like that pick. I think that's a smart pick for the Patriots. Fits their team. And just a really good value. I guarantee you, I mean, what do I know? I don't know anything. I guarantee you they had JSN pretty highly rated here. But I doubt they expected Christian Gonzalez to fall this far. I really do. So I just think they were probably in a position where they felt like they couldn't pass on him. So I like that pick a lot for the Patriots. I really do. I think it's a very solid pick. I just did not want to see JSN go there. Would like to see Seahawks get on one of these wide receivers, or Will Levis might be there at 20. Yeah, here's my opinion. And I don't mind if they go receiver at all. I think that if the Seahawks wanted a quarterback, it was Anthony Richardson at pick 5. So they did not get him. I don't think they're going QB at 20. I mean, yes, there is a strong likelihood Will Levis is still available. I think the Buccaneers might take Will Levis, though, at pick 19. And if they don't, I think he might go to the Vikings at pick 23. I don't think it's going to be Seattle. I think they were in a position where they would have taken Richardson at 5 and let him sit behind Geno and develop. I think that would have been arguably a much better situation, not for fantasy, but from real life football perspective for Anthony Richardson. Hey, I hope it works out for him with the Colts. I'm certainly rooting for him, but I think that was the only way they were going to go quarterback, in my opinion. But yeah, there's a strong likelihood like they land Flowers, Quinn Johnston, Addison. So we'll see, man. We'll see. I think either way, it's a good first round. I really do. Good first round for the Hawks. All right, I'm going to take Aaron Jones here. Give me Aaron Jones. Do Lions go Levis here? I don't think the Lions go. I really think, my humble opinion, that the Lions and Seahawks, if they were going to draft a quarterback, it was Anthony Richardson early. I don't think they had that same, infatuation with Will Levis. I think they were going for someone who brings a lot of upside, someone who fits, the opposite prototype of Jared Goff, a running quarterback who could become a Jalen Hurts, Justin Fields type player. I don't think they're as interested in Will Levis. I'm telling you though, if I think Will Levis could be going to the Buccaneers. We'll see. Will Levis to the Bucs, I think, makes sense. To the Vikings makes some sense. Those are really the teams, when I'm looking at the first round right now, I think make the most sense. I think that you guys are right, though. Like, the Lions and Seahawks make the next most sense, but I think they wanted Anthony Richardson if they were going to go quarterback. So, I think they're out. But we'll see. I mean, you still got, we're just a little bit over. We're about halfway through the draft because there's only 31 picks. First round of the draft, I should say. Yeah, this is what I hate is the picks start to slow down a bit. They start to. It's it's a big TV event, so. But hey, we haven't really got to touch on. How do you guys feel about the Lamar Jackson situation? You guys pumped? I know we have a couple Ravens fans out there. I mean, there's huge fantasy implications from that. I'm just happy it is over with. We know what this team is going to look like next season. And the Ravens are on the clock at pick 23. If JSN's still there, they have to go JSN, right? That's my biggest question right now is where does JSN land? And on top of that, where do the rest of these receivers go? But I really just want to know where JSN is going to be playing. That's my burning question. Oh my gosh, I'm so sad looking at Tyler Algier on the board. I am very, very sad that Tyler Algier took a massive slap to the face. I mean, you guys know, that's my boy. All right, I'm still taking Monty. Let's go. Jahmyr Gibbs means nothing to me. I'm just kidding. I'm going to play off the theory that Swift is not going to be involved and Monty and Jahmyr Gibbs are going to be a two-headed horse. So I actually think that while this, backfield is going to be very, very stressful from a fantasy perspective, it's still worth the risk to some degree. So I'll take Monty there. I need some running back help. I'm okay with that. I really want to know who the Lions go with here. I mean, call me crazy, but the Lions could surprise us again and go JSN right here. They could be going Dalton Kincaid, Nolan Smith, Cansey, Brian Branch, Miles Murphy. There are some really good players on the board right now. Really, really good players. Lions go Campbell. I mean, of course they pick Campbell. Of course. And you got Dan Campbell as your head coach. Very, very, very solid linebacker. Structurally sound, reliable guy. 6'5", 245 pounds. He's a fill-in. He is. He's a great linebacker. It's a solid pick. I think there are a lot of good players available. I think it's a pick that helps the Lions, who at times really struggled defensively last year, especially against the run, although they had some success later on in the season. I think it's a good pick for the Lions. I can't argue against that selection right there. But it's definitely an interesting first two picks for the Lions with Jahmyr Gibbs and Campbell. But Campbell, I think kind of, isn't an extremely exciting player per se. Like, doesn't have some of those elements that really bring upside to the table. So in terms of like evaluation and like mock drafts and rankings, like he may have fell back a little. But he's a very, very, very solid football player. I think it's a really good, like I said, structurally sound, reliable pick for the Lions. Ron the Goat's in the building. What's up, dude? How have you been? Guess I have to change my profile pic now. Yeah, man. You got to get Bryce Young in there. How do you feel about the selection, man? I mean, you got to be happy, right? No way not to be, right? It's a new day for you Panthers fans. Ron, it's good to see you, my guy. So, yeah, a lot of good players still available here. We're up to pick 19. I'm telling you, this could be Will Levis. It could be. All right, I'm about to be on the board here. I don't really know what my team is right now. I kind of feel like I need a receiver. Or a running back. I'm very, very interested in the later rounds of this draft. I really want to know where these running backs are going. All right, I need another tight end. Give me Dawson Knox. Ron, I'm feeling good as long as it was Young or Stroud. I was going to be happy, 100%. I was starting to get a weird feeling as we creeped into pick number 1 that there was some potential that it was Stroud. It's like every report was saying it was Young for sure. I was just starting to get a small feeling that maybe everything was a smokescreen and they wanted Stroud. I don't know. But like I said, a small feeling and a feeling that did not matter nonetheless. So, all right, so Tyler Algier goes at 12.11. I mean, Tyler Algier still has to hold some sort of value, right? I mean, the Falcons are going to run the football a ridiculous amount, right? I don't know. I don't know. Spence sleeper glitched. Oh well, you brought up a good talking point. I mean, you did need a running back, didn't you? Yeah. Oh, I didn't want either of them? I'm sorry, broski. Well, accept the challenge, right? I'll trade you Sky Moore for Darnell Mooney. Just kidding. I have DJ Moore. I can't do that. How do we feel about Antonio Gibson with Eric Bieniemy? I'm fine with Gibson. I like Gibson and Robinson, but I do want to see if Washington drafts a running back. So, we'll see. Bucks go Kansas. Okay, I love that selection. Okay, my Will Levis prediction was nothing, but I wanted to see Kansas get selected in the top 20 because I think he has the talent. A little bit undersized, but there have been defensive tackles past couple years who have proven that doesn't necessarily matter. 280 pounds. He led all defensive tackle or all interior defenders with a 92.4 pass rushing grade last year. He's twitchy. I love this pick. I think he's a little bit undervalued going into this year. So I think it's great for the Bucks, and they've consistently hit on good defensive tackles. So I like that pick a lot for the Buccaneers. Good solid pick. Good solid pick by the Lions. Good solid pick by the Buccaneers, and a good solid pick by the Patriots. Just I think 3 really good picks in a row. Really concrete football players. What's up, Pete? Lions still gonna lion? Yeah. You know, I like the Jack Campbell pick for them a lot. The Jahmyr Gibbs pick is certainly interesting. You know, because like we were kind of touching on this a couple minutes ago. Like the Lions had pick 34 in the third round, as well as pick 48, as well as pick 55. Like they could have easily taken just about anyone else at pick 12, still gotten Jack Campbell at pick 18, and probably traded into the end of the first, or you know, moved around one of those other two picks. I mean, I don't know, and still gotten Gibbs is the point. So I do think it's interesting, but at the end of the day, like I mean, I'm all for teams going out and getting their guy. So like I'm not completely against it. I don't know. I think everyone is kind of in agreement. It's kind of an odd move to some degree, right? I just auto-picked myself. I'll take Acne in there. I'm good at that. I'm going to need a rookie running back anyways. I'm good at that. That was completely my fault. Okay, so Cansey goes to the Buccaneers. Seattle on the clock at pick 20. This could be JSN. I don't know, man. The Ravens on the board. I'm really starting to think that they might land JSN. Who are the Chargers going to pick, though? Chargers could go JSN. This is... All right, you got to put in the chat right now. Place your bets. Who's taking JSN? Who's taking JSN? Ooh, Cat's saying they might go Will Levis. We'll find out. Oh, man. This has been an exciting night. This has been... I mean, I told you guys this draft was going to be very weird. Very, very weird. So we got what we expected, right? All right, I need some young receivers. Give me Shaheed. Team is shaping out in interesting fashion tonight. Shane says the Chargers take Levis. You think? Oh, never mind. You're saying Seattle takes Levis, the Chargers take JSN if Seattle does not. I would actually love JSN on the Chargers. I feel like that would skyrocket his fantasy value as much as it could skyrocket. I really do. Is there a chance Addison is number one wide receiver off the board to Chargers? I'm going to say, I mean, yes, there's a chance, especially with the way things have gone so far tonight. But I'm going to say my gut feeling is no. But yes, there's a chance. I mean, there's always a chance, right? Oh, man. We still have no tight ends off the board. Still have no tight ends off the board. J-Dub says Flowers. Yeah, I mean, I could see... I hope 3 or 4 receivers go in the first round. Undoubtedly. Cat, seems like if JSN fell this far, NFL doesn't love him as much as we do as fantasy guys. You know, that could be true. There could be some truth to that. I mean, you do have teams like the Packers who didn't go receiver here. The Jets. The Patriots. I mean, you've got some teams that were linked to drafting a wide receiver that did not go wide receiver tonight. So there could be truth to that. Swift Algier, rest in peace. Yeah. R.I.P. our boys. Cats, I have too many Algier shares. Like I said, I still think there's some production out there for Tyler Algier within this specific offense. But I wouldn't feel too great either. I might be giving out false hope. Oh my gosh, we have decimated the wide receiver position, guys. I mean, just decimated it. I feel like I have to go Josh Palmer here. Where's this pick, Seattle? Guys, make sure you update me. I'm going to be like a minute behind. Algier, a great handcuff. That is true. That is true, Shane. So a couple other things. We haven't seen DeAndre Hopkins get traded. There was definitely buzz around that happening tonight. We haven't seen anyone get traded. You know, anyone who's already on an NFL team. Some murmurs about Derrick Henry. Dalvin Cook. We've seen nada. Give me McBride. I have a weird team tonight, but I'm good with it. Cat says no player trades feels weird. I agree. All right, so let's see here. Dang, I feel like tonight's draft is going by pretty quickly. But it's actually going by slower than usual. Oh, no, that's not true, because we were talking at the beginning, trying to get someone to join. All right, so Levis is out there, Jason is out there, Ken K, Nolan Smith, Brian Branch, Miles Murphy, Banks, Michael Mayer, Joey Porter Jr., Jordan Addison, Anton Harrison, Quinn Johnston. You got Torrance at the interior line position. You got Jones out of Ohio State. You got Zay Flowers, Mozzie Smith, Darnell Washington, Josh Downs, Cam Smith, Laporta, a couple other names. DJ Turner's out there, Hendon Hooker, Sharby. But we know Sharby's not going in the first. Oh, JSN does go to Seattle. Whoa. JSN is going to be a Seattle Seahawk. Wow. Wow. Okay, I actually like that landing spot. I like the Chargers more. But this is because I like Justin Herbert over Geno Smith at the end of the day. But you look at the Chargers with Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, JSN, Josh Palmer. Would have been really nice. You look at Seattle. Geno is fine at quarterback. Fine. Between Hopkins and Lockett, you allow JSN to line up in the slot. I mean, this is good. No pressure on him. Line up, do your thing. Opposing defenses are going to have to look at Metcalf and Lockett. I know that the volume goes down. He does not step into a number one wide receiver position role, which could be worrisome from a fantasy perspective. But not having that defensive pressure on him on a consistent basis, I personally think that is good. I do. So I like this landing spot for JSN. I know not everyone's going to like it, but I truthfully believe over time this will be good for JSN. I would have liked the Chargers more. I would have. But I am okay with this. I'm okay with it. I can live with it. And that's your first wide receiver taken off the board. Justin says, hate it. Cats honestly don't love it. J-Dub says, Geno shares up. Yeah, J-Dub saying the Chargers need speed. I mean, they might be going wide receiver right here. They might be going Flowers. They might be, yeah, we might see 3 wide receivers off the board in a row. I mean, we could even see 4. The Chargers, Ravens, and Vikings on the board with the next 3 picks. Michael says in Dynasty, he's perfect. Yeah, I think it's okay for JSN personally. But yeah, the immediate volume is going to be down. You can't deny that. Can't deny that. Oh my gosh, what have you guys done to the wide receivers? There's just nobody. Nobody available. Just give me Darius Slayton because at least he'll get target share. Who are the Giants going to draft tonight? Michael, this is basically what he was at Ohio State. That's a fair point. Dave, I think that hurts JSN's value a little bit. It's fair. It's fair. You know, immediate volume isn't going to be the same as if he went to a couple different teams out there. That's fair. But I don't know. Like, if he goes to the Packers, like, you still got Dobbs. You still got Watson there. If he goes to the Patriots, I mean, you still have Juju there, but that's about it. You know? There were rumors of him going to the Eagles. Like, you have 2 studs in front of you there. I mean, he could have gone to the Ravens. You know, I don't know. I think all things considered, it's okay. It's okay. Dobbs and Watson is nothing compared to Locke and DK. I mean, 110%. 110%. Mr. Sarcastic, if the Vikings don't take Levis, he's most likely out of the first round, 100%. I mean, someone could trade up with him. Or trade up to take him, right? Thomas, Tyler Lockett getting older. JSN should be nice. I do think it's a good pick for you guys. I mean, like, outside of fantasy, it's a good pick, right? I think we could be seeing a little bit of a run at receiver here. No, I agree, Cats. I agree. DK and Lockett are going to be the guys, for sure. And the comparison to the other players, it's just kind of like when you're looking at it on paper, right? That's all. But you're right. I mean, like, compared to those other teams, you have probably the 2 guys you're going to see the most volume in front of him possible. Hopefully the Giants could save Flowers if he falls. Yeah, I think a couple receivers could be going here shortly. But we got some big name teams coming up. Chargers, Ravens, Vikings, Jags, Giants, Cowboys, Bills, Bengals, Saints, Eagles, Chiefs. Yeah, we got some big name teams coming up. All playoff teams except for the Saints. All right, you guys are already asking for team reviews. Okay. I think the first hand up was Shane. So I'm going to go from there. Shane, what we do, man? Fields, Prescott, Zach Wilson. I'm okay with that. If you take Zach Wilson as your last pick, that's the only time I'm okay with it. Darren Waller, Mike Gesicki, Zach Ertz. Not my favorite tight end room personally. You've got like some pretty veteran-esque guys. Ertz coming off an injury. Waller with a lot of injury history as well. Gesicki, I just don't love right now. And getting up there in age. Oh, I'm on auto pick. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, let's go, baby. All right. C-Mac, Swift, Cooks, Evans, Elliott, Hunt. Good running back room. You're fine there. I know Swift was an auto pick. Cup, Pittman, McLaurin, Allen, Sutton, Moore, the other Moore, and Boyd. Wide receivers look fine. I don't mind this team, but it feels a little bit win now. I mean, you're starting Fields and Prescott, C-Mac, and let's say Cook after tonight. Cup, Pittman, McLaurin, flexing Allen and Elijah Moore, or Allen and Sutton, Allen and Swift. I mean, you got some good late round value guys. Rondo Moore, Zeke, Boyd, Zach Evans. I mean, that's the thing. Like, it just feels slightly win now. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, Pittman's 25. McLaurin's 27. Like, C-Mac, 26. You know, I mean, no, there's Jared Goff. I don't know why I clicked on him. It just feels a little bit win now. But I think the starting roster is fine. You got some good pieces on the bench. How do you feel about it, my guy? Quentin Johnston goes to the Chargers. I told you we were going to run at receiver. So, yeah, some of you guys were saying it might be Addison or Flowers. It ends up being Quentin Johnston. I think it's a good landing spot for him. We were just talking about the Chargers and JSN and, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, receiver going there. They're in a good position. Similar to JSN, like, I don't think there's going to be a lot of defensive pressure on Quentin Johnston. And truthfully, I do think that he needed to go somewhere where he wasn't gaining a ton of defensive pressure. So I actually think that's a good landing spot. Another receiver off the board. Let's go. All right, Spinny, what'd you do tonight? Mahomes, Tua time, Levis, Mike White. Quarterbacks look fine. Kelsey and Pitts. Couldn't get better. Waddle, Quentin Johnston, who's with the Chargers. Mike Williams. You're double dipping, bro. Gabe Davis, Darnell Mooney, Claypool, Thielen. Wide receivers, you cleaned up okay. But your depth took a little bit of a hit with the double tight end pick. Javonte, Dillon, Algier. I know Algier and Mooney were auto picks by accident. Harris, Singletary, Warren, Ibrahim. Yeah, I mean, you could use a little bit more youth on this team as well. But I think the core roster is probably going to be okay. Mahomes and Tua. Kelsey, Waddle, Mike Williams, Mooney, flexing Pitts, flexing Quentin Johnston, starting Javonte and A.J. Dillon. Going to leave you with Gabe Davis, Algier, Claypool, Harris, Singletary, Thielen, and like any of those guys could be flexed in. Jalen Warren, Ibrahim, Mike White on the bench. I think coming out of a startup, this team would be fine. But, I mean, you're going to have some positions down the stretch you're going to have to improve. But that could be any team, right? How do you feel about it, bro? Boss man, what we do tonight, man? Just said man like twice in a row. All right. Watson, Lance, Geno, Hooker. I like that quarterback room. Yeah. I think that's like the best quarterback room we've landed at the 1.12 so far. Schultz, Musgrave, that's fine. Barkley, Charby, Kamara, Jamal, McIntosh, Mitchell. I like the running backs. Lamb, Watson, Cooper, Josh Downs, Pierce, Kayshawn, Renfro, and Perry. I think you got pretty good receiver value tonight. Man, I think the Ravens are going to take Flowers or Addison right here. I mean, you got to keep your quarterback happy, unless they go offensive line, which I think is fine too. So, boss man, you're starting Watson, super flexing Geno, starting Schultz, Barkley, Charby. I don't care what anyone says. You're starting Charbonnet. Lamb, Watson, Cooper, flexing Kamara if he's around. If not, Jamal Williams and Josh Downs or Alec Pierce. So you've got Musgrave, Kayshawn. I mean, you got a lot of good future pieces, a lot of good rookies at the end. So I think that helped balance out your team. I think this team looks fine. How do you feel about it, bro? I think it looks okay. Quinn Johnston to the Chargers. I'm liking that. I'm liking that. Whew. All right, so J-Dubs. We got T-Law, Kyler, Sam Howell. I mean, I'm okay with that. Like, for the long term, you got T-Law and Kyler Murray. By the way, I love the selection for the Cardinals going Paris Johnson Jr. I love that. Sam Howell can be your placeholder. Hopefully that works out. Komet, great value in the 10th. Jelani Woods and Laporta, good tight end room overall. Dobbins, Herbert, Madison, Izzy, Houle, Ford. For basically a late round running back build, good team. Or good running back room, I should say. Metcalf, Judy, Brown, Pickens, Burks. Whew. Robinson, Curtis Samuel, Washington. Yeah. I like the receivers. I love this team, J-Dubs. You're starting T-Law, Howell. You're going to need Kyler down the road. Starting Komet, Dobbins and Herbert, Dobbins and Madison, Dobbins and Izzy. Like, I mean, some question marks at running back, but you'll figure it out. I mean, you got enough pieces at running back. I love Evan Houle and Izzy where you got them. Starting Metcalf, Judy, and Brown, flexing Pickens and Burks. Robinson, Samuel, Washington, Laporta, Woods, the rest of the running backs on the bench. I like this team a lot, J-Dubs. Looks good to me, bro. How do you feel about it? I'm just happy we're getting some receivers off the board. All right, Michael is up next. Danny Dimes. Staph infection, Tannehill, Mayfield. Oh, you got to be a little bit queasy there, right? Kittle and Freiermuth is ridiculous. Juwan Johnson makes it even more ridiculous. Walker, ETN, Brian Robinson, Pirine, Deuce Vaughn, Gray. Good running back room, man. Really good running back room. Chase, Ayuk, Ridley, Lockett, Lazard, Osborne, Dortch. Good receiver value tonight, man. Everything looks good, Michael. Just the quarterbacks. That's what happened as QB took a hit. You're starting Dimes, flexing Staph infection, I guess. Starting Kittle. But Kittle and Freiermuth is just beautiful, man. Walker and ETN, no doubt. That's beautiful. Chase, Ayuk, Ridley. Flexing Lockett, flexing Lazard, but you could also flex Freiermuth. Then Brian Robinson, Osborne, Pirine, Vaughn, Johnson, Mayfield, Dortch, Gray. A great bench. I mean, even Tannehill's fine on the bench. The QB2 spot's the only issue. Other than that, Michael, I love this team, and I think you got some really good value tonight. But you got to admit, QB is going to make you a little shaky, right? All right, who are the Ravens taking? Kat says I was distracted. Please don't judge. We won't judge. Hurts, Richardson, Purdy, Willis. I like that. Hawk and Joku, you're good there. Mixon, Bigsby, Gibson, Miller, Foreman, Strong. Running back's a little queasy. But Mixon, Bigsby, Gibson, Miller, Foreman, and Strong are actually all good values. Hill, J-Mo, Dotson, Flowers, Juju, Mims, Ross, Hardman. Wide receiver room is pretty good overall. Starting Hurts and Richardson. You got Purdy on the bench, which I really like. You're starting Hawkinson, Mixon, and Gibson to start the year. See how those rookies work out. You can put Foreman in there as well. Hill, Dotson, Juju. You can't start J-Mo. So you're probably flexing. Yeah, I think the flex is where you run into an issue. I think you have a lot of good pieces on this team. And you can flex Njoku. You can flex Foreman. Hardman, and then whatever rookies work out. Probably Flowers, if anyone, who just went to the Baltimore Ravens. What did I tell you? We're going to see a run at receiver. Love the pick. I mean, you give Lamar the contract. You sign Odell. You got Bateman coming back healthy. You've still got Andrews there. You've got a run game. You've got a good defense. I love this pick for the Ravens. I think if you're a Ravens fan, you're very excited right now. Go out and help your quarterback. Keep trying to do whatever you can to give him weapons. You just locked him up for 5 years. I love this pick. Absolutely love that pick. At what point does Will Levis become a steal? I don't know. I personally didn't really think, like, if Levis didn't go to the Titans or the Colts, I didn't think anyone was going to take him. So, like, I don't quite know if he's a steal per se to me. And I don't know if he's going to go in the first round at this point. The one dark horse team I have, if the Vikings don't take Will Levis, is the Saints. So they got Carr, but they only got Carr for so long, and Levis sitting behind Carr could work out very well. Oh, I love that we're getting a run at receiver right now. And we'll see what the Vikings do. All right, Mr. Sarcastic, you got Herbert, Stroud, Jimmy G. I like that. Mayer, Kincaid, Everett. Yeah, I mean, you need a veteran in there. Just tight ends can take some time to get going, you know. So tight ends make me a little worried, but for the long term, I love both Mayer and Kincaid for sure. I mean, that is really nice. But as your third guy, I mean, I guess Everett's okay. No, I guess that's fine. I really like going Mayer and Kincaid. Don't get me wrong. Eckler, Pierce, Pacheco, Gainwell, Spiller. Running backs are fine. Devontae, Adams and Smith, DeAndre Hopkins, DPJ, Michael Thomas, Rice, Collins, Reed, Gallup. So you did get some youth sprinkled in there, luckily. But even then, I mean, receivers still look pretty nice. So you're starting Herbert, super flexing Stroud. You can put Garoppolo in there if you need to. Tight ends are going to be a question mark to begin the year, and we got to see where Mayer and Kincaid land. But Eckler, Pierce. You're starting running back Smith, Adams, and Hopkins, no doubt. Probably flexing Pacheco and DPJ, but you got Michael Thomas, you got Gainwell, got some rookie receivers, got Collins, got Kincaid or Meyer if they're not in your starting tight end position. So you've got some options here. It looks pretty good. What do you think about it, man? Uh-oh. Pete says the Vikings are going Will Levis. Do you think? Do you think? All right, let's see. All right, I'm trying to get caught up with the chat here. Cat says hated for Zay, love it for Baltimore. I think it's a good pick. I really do. Oh, what are the Vikings going to do? I have no idea what I did tonight. Josh Allen, Bryce Young, Rodgers, Ingram, Knox, Bellinger, Rashad White, Aaron Jones, Monty, Acne, McBride, CEH. I had like 2 auto picks tonight, including CEH. Drake London, DJ Moore, Kirk, Addison. Oh, I have the one receiver who didn't get a landing spot yet. Sky Moore, Shaheed, Palmer, Slayton. I'm okay with this team, I guess. Starting Allen, super flexing Rodgers, let Bryce get some breathing room. Starting Ingram, got Knox on the bench. Starting London, Moore, and Kirk. Got Rashad White and Jones starting. My flex position's a little questionable, but I have Jordan Addison, Monty, Dawson Knox, Sky Moore, Acne, Rashid, Shaheed, Palmer, McBride, Slayton. Like, there are options. I think those, you get that figured out. I think this team's fine. But the flex is a little bit questionable. All right, man. Thank you guys for drafting with me. We'll hang around for a little bit longer here. But I am going to cut it a little bit shorter tonight, even with the draft still going on. And we'll just kind of wrap up on Discord and everything. Or we can run an off-air mock if you guys want. But I got to try and get up early tomorrow. So I want to start wrapping it up. Draft of the night. Oh, it's tough. Man, I really liked Michael's team. But his quarterbacks are just super sketchy. J-Dubs, I actually really like your team. I'm not going to lie. It might be J-Dub's team for me. Lawrence, Howe with Kyler on the bench. Dobbins, Herbert, Madison, whoever. Metcalf, Judy Brown, Pickens, Burks, Komet. Like I just like your core roster. But it's really close with Michael. Like if he gets a solid quarterback play out of Stafford or Tannehill or Mayfield for the short term and adds a good long-term piece at quarterback next year or trades for one and keeps his core roster, I don't know. That team is pretty up there for me. Spence, I'm not looking at your trade. Are you kidding me? Where'd you send me a trade? Thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. Draft of the night, got to be Colts. Yeah, man, I'm glad they got Richardson. Spence, I don't... Oh, here we go. All right, so Spencer wants to trade me his first this year and a third this year for my first and a second. So you want me to move up because you're at... Yeah, you want me to go from 4 to 2. And then I lose a second rounder, gain a third rounder, right? Nope. I'm going to get my QB at 4. I don't care if it's Hurts, if it's Burrow, if it's Lawrence, if it's Herbert, if it's Fields, if it's Lamar, if it's Patty Mahomes or Allen. I'm getting one of them. I'm okay with it, Spence. I don't need the 1.2. You know, you guys know I'm going to be very stingy on my trades. As a Ravens fan, I feel pretty good about Zay Flowers coming to us. Flowers, Bateman, OBJ, nice wide receiver group. And who knows, maybe Hopkins will end up there. I appreciate the trade, Spence. So you guys know, you got to blow me away. I don't do a lot of trades, especially after I traded Josh Jacobs last year. But we don't talk about that. All right, good draft, guys. So let's see here. I am no fun. You're right. So what a draft it's been. Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, Will Anderson, Richardson, Witherspoon, PJJ, Terry Wilson, Bijan to the Falcons. Did the Vikings take Addison? See, like I'm behind. And even if I had it playing, it's on YouTube TV, so it'd be like slightly behind too. Carter to the Eagles. Oh, did Addison did go? And hey, look. I picked Addison at 6.9. I got a pretty decent landing spot, but what does that mean for KJ Osborne? I want to see it officially on ESPN's website. I'm going to take this back over here. Zay Flowers is the first Boston College wide receiver to ever go in the first round. In case you guys are wondering. Addison, the Vikes is perfect. Can't double JJ. Yep, Jordan Addison to the Vikings. Where's Pete at? Pete, where are you? After the review. You got to be hype right now, right? I really do want to know who the Jaguars take. But that might be my last pick I'm able to stay on stream for. Unfortunately, it took us a little bit to get the mock going. So we're looking at who's available with the Jags, Giants, Cowboys, Bills, Bengals, Saints, Eagles, Chiefs on the board. You still got Levis. I don't quite know. Like I said, my dark horse team is the Saints. When we look at the top of the second round, though, Steelers, Cardinals, Lions, Colts, Rams, Seahawks, Raiders. Those are the first 7 teams in the second round. The Rams could trade up to get Levis, but they don't have a lot to trade. They might have to sit back and see if he falls. I don't know if I really see any of those teams going for Levis. The Titans have pick 41, which is the 10th pick in the second round. They could go after Levis. I don't know, man. Oh, did we just get a trade? We got a trade, right? I think the Giants just... I hate the way this is displaying for me. Yeah, the Giants just moved up 1 spot? Is that what happened? So do the Jags have pick 26? Or do the Giants have 2 picks in a row? Man, I want to see who the Jags got. I'm so behind the way I have to do this. All right, so we got Levis, we got Kent, we got all the tight ends still available. There's so much buzz about like 3 to even 4 tight ends going in the first round. I could still see... Okay, so the Jags just moved back a spot. That's really interesting. The Giants want a receiver. I mean, that's like the only reason they trade up, right? Like, I don't think the Jags were really in a position where they were going to go receiver right there. So this is interesting. Unless there's just a player, there's got to be someone available. Nolan Smith, Brian Branch, Miles Murphy. Maybe one of the tight ends that they thought the Jags were going to take. Joey Porter Jr., Torrance at guard, one of the tackles, Harrison or Jones. That's interesting. Swapping picks. J-Dub says, I'm so torn between Herbert, T-Law, and Lamar with the wide receiver additions. Yeah. Some of these ADPs at quarterback are going to change. I mean, we saw T-Law at 6, Herbert at 7, but Lamar went at 1 tonight. Yeah, these are going to be decisions we're going to have to ponder. Oh, man. The draft's not even close to over, and we have so much to break down. Tomorrow is going to be an interesting stream, and we're going to be having draft selections tomorrow as well. Giants go Banks. So they wanted to trade up to get their corner, and I could see the Jags taking a corner right there. The Jags could go a corner at this next pick. I think it's a good pick. Get Banks out of Maryland. Very athletic player. Great combine. But good tape as well. So the Giants go out and get a corner. I'm fine with that. I could have seen the Jags going corner there as well. And I think the Jags could still go corner. Huh. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to see another receiver in the first round. That was my immediate thought, but I don't think that's what's going to happen here. Josh Downs. I mean, okay, if someone's going to take a receiver, I think it's the Chiefs. I could see Josh Downs going, which I would love, because that's my boy. But we'll see what happens. A 3 RB committee so weird. Oh, you're no kidding, J-Dubs. Jeez. Hyatt to the Chiefs. I mean, we saw some buzz about that as well. Man. Just a lot of moves tonight. Yeah, Hyatt to the Chiefs does fit the narrative. I agree with that. YouTube is like crazy tonight. Like I basically follow like every fantasy channel out there and a lot of the NFL channels. And yeah, my algorithm is just crazy tonight. Just literally so many things going on. Where does Swift go? I don't know, because there's still teams like the Titans with Derrick Henry potentially going somewhere. Dalvin Cook's going somewhere from the Vikings. Swift could go to a lot of different teams. Swift could stay with the Lions through this last year of his contract as well, right? He's going into his 4th season. Yeah. A month ago, DeAndre Swift remains in the Lions' plans. Yeah, Kansas City, Miami, Baltimore. I mean, they have some running backs. They got Dobbins, don't get me wrong, but they have some guys who've been banged up too. I hope it's not the Bills. I don't want to see anyone go there. Just where running backs go to not be utilized. Who are the Jags going to take? I just want to know. I just want to know. Yeah, I think we'll see 1 or 2 more trades, you know, through the beginning of the 2nd round easily, Spence. I mean, there's still some really good players available. I don't know if we're going to see a tight end drafted tonight. If we do, it's to the Cowboys or to the Bengals. I don't know. We had Kim K going to the Chiefs last night. Sit behind Kelsey until he's gone. Joey Porter Jr. still out there. I mean, there's just big names out there still. Brian Branch, I mean, he could fall to the 1st. Nolan Smith, who I really, really like. Miles Murphy, yeah. I mean, those guys are going to go in the 1st. I would assume. Mozzie Smith has moved up a little bit in boards. I don't think Hendon Hooker is going to go in the 1st. Like, my prediction was if he went anywhere, it would have been to Seattle. Who are the Jags going to take? I need to know. Oh, no. We have another trade. The Bills trade up. No, I really meant Hooker, Spencer. I really felt like if he was going to go in the 1st, it would have been at the end of the 1st to Seattle. But that was in the, you know, theoretically with Will Levis gone already as well. All right, so we got the Bills on the clock. So we'll wait for this pick. But I am going to have to wrap up shortly here, unfortunately. So thank you guys for hanging out tonight. Thank you guys for drafting with me. I know that the mock we didn't pay as much attention to per usual, or as usual, with everything else going on. But I appreciate you guys getting a start up with me. It was interesting to see a little bit of shift in some ADPs and everything. And I figured doing a startup tonight would be fun. While we went over some draft coverage, reactions. So thank you guys, man. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the way out. If you guys are new, hit the subscribe. Check out the links down below. You guys know what to do. Interesting night overall, man. To say the least. Yeah, I think Monty will be okay. Bills went Kincaid? Really? They jumped the Cowboys to get Kincaid? Wow. Wow. So much for my Dawson Knox shares. Have him on the board tonight. Wow. Pete says, I hate everything. We like the Jordan Addison pick. You don't like it? Who'd you want there? Okay, I'm pretty shook by this Kincaid selection. Wow. I don't even know what to think about that. Yeah, that hurts Dawson Knox drastically. I mean, it's a good pick. Kincaids are great. I think the Cowboys wanted him. But I've also heard that the Cowboys like Mayer and Laporta right here, too. The Bills definitely jumped up for that. I mean, like, the Bills... I don't know. The Bills kind of could have used any position other than, like, quarterback right there. So, like, I'm not against it. I mean, you're not drafting Kincaid as a blocker. He is a pass-catching tight end. But I agree with you guys. Receiver... I mean, you hope that Kincaid can develop into a TJ Hawkinson type player. Like, that is what you're hopeful for. 100%. That's what you're hopeful for. It's a step behind Knox, who's probably going to be a better blocker. Yeah, all of John's guys getting shot down. That makes things confusing, though, like, because I do think that Kincaid and ADP, like, you're drafting him for the long term now. He's not going to get as much immediate value. But you could argue that even with Knox there, he might, just because it's the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen is good at throwing the football. So that's going to be interesting to unravel. We're going to have to ponder on that. Yeah, Gainwell's holding strong. Eagles did not draft Bijan. They will probably draft a running back in this draft, though, undoubtedly. Okay, very interesting move there. Now we'll have to see if the Cowboys go tight end. All right, guys, unfortunately, I do have to sign off for the night. I had to be up very early tomorrow. But I'm glad we ran through a mock tonight. I'm glad we got to go through most of the draft together. So we got 25 picks in. And kind of just react to the night in general and kind of, watch some of these live. I'm glad we were streaming while we got the wide receiver run. JSN to the Seahawks, Quentin Johnson to the Chargers, Flowers to the Ravens, Addison to the Vikings. That's fun. Now Kincaid goes to the Bills. So, like, we got to end the night on some fantasy implications where we got a lot of defensive linemen, offensive linemen, linebackers, corners in between Bijan with a little bit of Jahmyr Gibbs sprinkled in the quarterbacks at the beginning. So I'm glad we got some fantasy relevant players off the board as well. So we will continue to break things down on our Discord, and tomorrow night's stream we will also continue to go through everything as well. So we'll just keep I'm just excited, man. I'm excited. Keep in mind, guys, for those of you interested, Best Ball Mania 4 on Underdog will be launched in a couple days. Okay? The best way to get updates on the Best Ball Mania tournament this year is to stay posted on Underdog's Twitter. But anytime I get updates, I will let you guys know. I got some information today. But really the only announcement they're giving us at the moment is it's a much larger overall pool than last year. So it's going to be a good tournament. I cannot wait. We're going to be doing a lot more Underdog drafts this offseason. A lot more Best Ball Mania drafts. So super excited. Super excited for that too. Yeah, got an email today, so best way to get updates while we're waiting for everything to be announced is on Twitter. All right, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out tonight. Thank you guys for talking fantasy. Thank you guys for mocking with me. And thank you guys for going through some of the draft with me. Like I said, we'll wrap up more tomorrow, and we'll go through some more reactions tomorrow. We'll probably just run through another mock tomorrow. So I'll be on tomorrow night. If you guys need anything, hit me up on Discord or Instagram. And we'll continue to kind of chat throughout the night on Discord while the first round wraps up as well. So thank you guys, man. Super fun stream. Super fun night overall. I'm just glad that the offseason is progressing. We got Lamar Jackson signed. We got the first round of the draft wrapping up tonight. It's just, it's starting to get that feel back. You know what I mean? So just super excited for everything else the offseason is going to bring, and for the regular season to be here and the fantasy season to be here. So thank you for everything that you guys do throughout the offseason, just sticking through the offseason with me, mock drafting with me, everything that you guys do, man. I really appreciate you guys as a community. So love you guys, man. Love this community. Love the Catch fam. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. With that, I will say thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on the Catch. And